Okay, so here's the old cam. You can see the severe scarring. So that right there is a pretty big issue. Down here you got some more. So this was definitely at the point of major failure. I'm glad we're replacing this cam set. So here we go. Here's the new cam. So we're gonna slide this in. But before we do, we are going to be using some AMSOIL assembly lube, so that way we don't have that hard startup with low oil. We are going to kind of turn the cam over the crank as an assembly once everything's tightened up. We went ahead and replaced the timing chain tensioner. Here's the cam. This is a upgrade. I believe this is a stage 1, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure this is well, I know it's for this Hemi for the new style. So it is upgraded, a little bit stronger, more durable. Like I said, I believe this is a stage 1, but this is from Texas Speed. This is what we're going to be putting in, and I'm going to put you in time lapse as I lube this thing up and slide it in. Alright, so we got the heads back from the machine shop. You can see the red there. That's a compound that they use to see where it sits. When they reseat the valves, they basically clean them up. So that's just a marker that's going to burn off. It's kind of like a liquid paint, a real thin mineral based paint. That way they can see where everything is sitting at. So we got the heads back, they're nice and cleaned up. He did get a couple of the exhaust studs that were broken off. Our machine shop here does a real good job. So I've already got 2 spark plugs in, you see, or 4 spark plugs in, because this one sits right there by the master cylinder booster. So it's a lot easier to go ahead and put them in now instead of going through 4 different extensions to get them in. So we've got them all set. So I've got those 2 cylinders with the spark plugs in, make life a little easier. Sorry for the mess. We've got the lifters installed, the new cups that hold them in place. We cleaned up the heads again, a little bit of brake clean. So now we are going to go ahead and get this head put in place, get the bolts in it, torque them down. I will get this in time lapse, and I'll give you the torque specs here in just a second. Okay, so this is very similar to the 6.4 liter. The first sequence is 1 through 10, which they are alternating, 25 foot-pounds. Then you torque the top to 15, retorque 1 through 10 at 25, 15, 1 through 10 at 45, Then we go back and retorque this at 15, then 90 degrees instead of 95, and we're not getting that extra 5 foot-pounds like the 6.4s. So 25, 15, 40, 15, 90 degrees, and then these get torqued one final time at 21 foot-pounds instead of 25. So we're going to go ahead and just use an electric 1/4-inch ratchet just to get this everything set in place. That way we can go ahead and start the torquing process. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in time lapse. Here we go. Okay, so I know the last time I torqued heads down, it was with a 3/8 snap-on. I went ahead and upgraded. I got the full 3-piece torque wrench kit, electronic torque wrench kit. This does do the torque angle, foot-pounds, inch-pounds, Newton meters. This is the 3/8 that I was using here. It is the 88 tooth with the wobble head. Definitely a good investment. If you're doing this at home for a simple project, you can find them cheap online. How accurate, I don't know. But if you're going to do it on a more consistent basis, definitely invest in a good quality torque angle wrench. This is a real nice kit. I don't think I got a part number on this right on hand, but definitely a good kit. Good investment for me. So that's the new 1/2 inch, and I'll show you the 3/8 and 1/4. Okay, so I torqued these down 17 foot-pounds. Sorry, I forgot to hit the button. I got the intake and exhaust, loosened 1/2 turn, and I just got done retorquing them to 17 foot-pounds. So now we're going to do the 30 degrees. Make sure you follow the sequence. This one here is number 1, so we're going to tighten 30 degrees. Alright, and we go to 2, which is up front. And back. Then we go to the very front. And now we are going to do the furthest back. Alright, so there we go. We got the 30 degrees. So I can go ahead and set that to the side. So right now I'm just going to rotate the crank just to make sure everything spins freely. I know I've got 2 cylinders that have compression, just to make sure everything is good. That way if anything pops or makes noise, it'll do it now. Alright, and now we are coming up to top dead center. Alright, so everything looks good. Slightly down. Alright, so that's all done. Now I can go ahead and put this 21 away. And now we can go ahead and put the valve covers on. We got the back connectors on, all that back in. We can go ahead and get the valve covers on it and start on the exhaust. So that's the torque sequence for the 5.7. Yeah, I'll put you in time lapse and get the valve covers on. Alright, so we got the front timing cover on, the new water pump, thermostat gasket, all the hoses hooked up except for the main hose, obviously to the radiator. Obviously the radiator and everything is still out. I got the valve covers, the exhaust manifolds on, the coil packs, all the spark plugs are in. So I got to tighten up the coil packs. We're getting ready to put the intake manifold on. I still got to put the lower harmonic balancer on, the vacuum pump. There's electrical connectors in the back, but we can't do that until we get the intake on. Same way with the fuel injector connectors. Next step is we're going to go ahead and put the intake manifold on, get all that buttoned up. Then we're going to come down, get the harmonic balancer on, put the radiator in, Then we're still waiting on the PCM to come in because we are flashing it for the DoD delete or MDS delete. I got the fender liners and molding I got to put back on, same way with the grill. But here we are, so we'll go ahead and get this intake put on with new gaskets, make sure everything's seated up, get the alternator in. Yeah, we're getting there. Alright, so we got the front timing cover on, the new water pump, thermostat gasket, all the hoses hooked up except for the main hose, obviously to the radiator. Obviously the radiator and everything is still out. I got the valve covers, the exhaust manifolds on, the coil packs, all the spark plugs are in. So I got to tighten up the coil packs. We're getting ready to put the intake manifold on. I still got to put the lower harmonic balancer on, the vacuum pump. There's electrical connectors in the back, but we can't do that until we get the intake on. Same way with the fuel injector connectors. So next step is we're going to go ahead and put the intake manifold on, get all that buttoned up. Then we're going to come down and get the harmonic balancer on, put the radiator in. Then we're still waiting on the PCM to come in because we are flashing it for the DoD delete or MDS delete. I got the fender liners and molding I got to put back on, same way with the grill. But here we are, so we'll go ahead and get this intake put on with new gaskets, make sure everything's seated up, get the alternator in. Yeah, we're getting there.